Welcome back, Goblin Chefs. It's APGAINS. Today we're talking updates on raids. As we know in-game, the only thing that we know for certain is that we need to hold tight, and raids are coming soon, blah, 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 blah. But I want to talk about some things that are passed along through the grapevine, also some best practices as far as how the raid is going to work and how you're going to be most efficient as a free-to-play player. Obviously, really quickly, this account is not free-to-play, although we do have free-to-play accounts for this channel. This is $240 lifetime spend. Both of those were to acquire, or $250, sorry. 240 of those were to acquire our these people to 5 stars. And then we bought one of the gigantic $10 crystal packs that gave us the ability to get crystals at an absolutely high rate to gear some characters up to gear 5. Other than that, I mean, this entire account is basically just minimum spend to try to prepare you guys for how you're eventually, one day, slightly slower, going to get to the place where this account is as far as the free play journey is concerned. But as far as what we know for the raid, I mean, it's going to work the same way. I'm sure you guys have been beaten over the head with, comparisons to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and how the raid over there works. But one thing I would like to say is I don't particularly think that the people who are expecting their one team at Gear 7, Gear 8 to kind of hold the line, those people are going to be sorely mistaken. It's going to be kind of a rude awakening for a lot of people who are putting all of their resources into an arena team, especially because the way this game is going to work, you're going to want whatever the rewards are from the raid. Now, they're obviously going to offer a character, Gandalf, and yes, it's going to be nice to have, unlocking shards of Gandalf depending on how well your team does. I really hate that I can't find his location without accidentally promoting him. So let me do some quick hunting here for a second and try and see if I can find his location. Is he a Chapter 3? Who knows? Capital Games. This is one of the biggest problems that your game faces. Help me figure out how to find my characters without having to spend all of my hard-earned gold trying to promote them. Okay, he is not found in the hard campaign or the shadow campaign, so I guess that means we must look for him here. While I talk, it's very obvious that we're going to need multiple teams to get progression in the raid through the raid rewards, whether it's going to be gear or the green like Zeta materials that a lot of people are talking about, like the ones that are used to upgrade Elrond's leadership to full tier 6. It's not going to show you here for some reason because they kind of lock everything behind all of this stuff. But all the powerful upgrades that are really going to turn the tide of battle, I would imagine, are going to be found in here as well as Gandalf shards, as well as a lot of gear. And I think since we are in a pretty sizable gear crunch right now as far as shadow and luminous crystals are concerned, I 100% expect there to be some sort of... Maybe it's going to be the guild track, maybe it's going to be the personal track, but some sort of payout in respect to crystals because it is the biggest bottleneck in the game. Either that or the bottleneck that kind of appears after the luminous crystal purple ones, where you have to get the shards in order to craft the tier 4 or tier 3 luminous crystal, the purple one. I would imagine we're probably going to get maybe a sizable payout in that respect as well. So how are we going to prepare for this as free-to-play players? Now, the answer is very simple, but it's not easy, if that makes sense. The answer is we're going to want multiple level 40 to level 50. Probably, I mean, here's the thing. The gold is such a big crunch that realistically this is going to be a long process. You're going to start off with your arena team. I'm tanking arena right now. I'm trying to go as low as possible to make sure that when I get Elrond day 1, right as the event goes live, you guys can watch us do a minimum gear unlock so that when you guys are around for the Elrond event, you can know how much you have to invest to get them. But then we're going to try to skyrocket their gear and just absolutely climb through the ranks and see if we can get up as high as humanly possible with the new Elrond, just to see how truly easy it is to punch up with the first synergistic character. But you're probably going to have at this point, probably a level 40, level 45 arena team. They're probably 3 to 5 stars, depending on the characters you're using. If it's Eothane, Eowyn, you probably have them at 3, maybe 4 stars. Eomer, probably 4 stars. Your Ironhide is probably 5 to 7 stars, depending on how much of a Giga Chad you are. And then you probably have, a Strider at 4 or 5 stars or something like that. It was a pretty common arena team. Unfortunately, I think the people who kind of went into the Isengard area are going to be a little bit out of luck. It was just kind of not the right play. I think leaning so much into the dark side there when a even more powerful Haradrim dark side team is going to come out relatively soon was a little bit of a mistake. Obviously, I think Haradrim are going to be quite meta in arena, but also in the raids. But you're going to have your one arena team that's going to be built. It's going to look like whatever it's going to look like. And I think this is the opportunity for you to kind of build, a strong light side team and a strong dark side team. So what I'm doing on this account, I'm doing on my 2 free-to-play accounts as well, is this one I'm obviously building elves, and I'll have Elrond day 1 and stuff like that. On the other account, I have a pretty strong Rohan team as well. They're fairly comparable to the account I had here, because this account's only been spending for it's been a couple of spends, but it's only been like a week. So this was largely a free-to-play account up until that point. So the account's kind of scaled, and then this one took off a little bit. But I have a powerful Rohan team, with my normal Strider Ironhide synergy that I'm kind of rocking. And then I have a little bit into the elves, and I've invested quite substantially into the Haradrim, because even as a free-to-play player, stars don't really matter in this game at the lower levels. Like, until the game's been around for a year or two, the stars aren't really going to matter. So even if you get the 2 new Haradrim characters at 3 stars, it's all about gear and synergy at that point. I think I have Yeftu at 3, Robol is at 1 on that account, Ubete is at 4, almost 5. And then when I get the 2 new ones at 3, I'm going to have that squad. I'm going to have my Elven squad. It probably won't have Elrond by the time the raid comes out, but maybe by the time Elrond comes back around, I'll have an Elrond team there. And then I'll have like my Rohan 3 with Strider and, plug in Gaz, or, whoever else I decide to plug in there, probably Gaz, because it makes the most sense. And I would say even prior to... Sorry, 1 second. Even prior to Elrond coming out, I'll have 3 strong teams there. I'll be able to get good points for the personal track of the raid, as well as being able to contribute to my guilds, because I'm in 3 different guilds. As far as the guild track is concerned, sorry for my stuttering of my English, which will be very nice, because I'll be able to, one, like we talked about, get my my Gandalf shards, but also whatever gear and other ability materials are kind of offered, and I would imagine gold as well. Based in guild and personal track, I'll be able to kind of progress in that direction, and not just be limited to what a lot of players are doing right now, which is trying to get a Gear 7, Gear 8 arena team completely free to play, and completely neglecting the fact that this is a Capital Games game and not an arena simulator, and that they need to build multiple teams. So thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe for all of the best content, as well as day 1 unlock low gear for Elrond. As always, I love you, and I'll see you later.